And welcome right back here to Meadville Area Senior High School. We're hitting for the starters. Tonight's ball game, first of all for Cambridge Springs, it'll be Corey Schmidt, senior 5'7", Julia Mallard, senior 5'6", Abby Westcott, senior 5'10", junior 5'7", Ashton Hoover, and Brooke Myers, sophomore at 5'4". Now for the Saegertown Panthers, Carly Schlosser. Number 14. Rizkowski.
Sophomore guard number 21, Ayla Jones.
Caitlin Jones.
Senior forward number 44, Courtney Hess.
And Courtney Hess. And we are ready for basketball. Here on Cool 101.7, cool1017online.com. For Cambridge Springs, the white uniforms with the blue numerals, and for Saegertown, the dark uniforms in the yellow or gold numerals. Steve Scott, the coach of Saegertown. Rod Dyes, coach over at Cambridge Springs. And this action about to unfold here on WMVL, Linesville, Meadville. First game of 4 here. We have the first 2. Following this in the District 10 Championship, West Middlesex and Maplewood. And Saegertown will shoot to the hoop to the right. Here in half number 1. Westcott against Breimer on the jump at midcourt. And this game is underway on Cool 101.7, cool1017online.com. I want to also welcome our viewers on Armstrong, One Wire Infinite Possibilities. Shot from the free throw line is up. That is no good. Smith rebounded by Saegertown. They'll bring the ball into the forecourt. Charlie Schlosser passes the ball off, and the ball goes out of bounds. And it will be Cambridge Springs to move up the court. Just underway. 7:42 remains here in quarter number 1. Out to the top of the key to Mallard from the right wing to Hoover. Hoover in front of the Saegertown bench, kicks the ball out front, drive into the paint, pass the ball off. Shooting and scoring is Brooke Myers. Underway, and Cambridge Springs with the early lead in this one here, and the Panthers back onto the attack. We told you earlier, both victories by Cambridge Springs over the Saegertown Panthers in the early part of the regular season. Underneath, driving layup, and it's up, and it's good on the other end of the court. This is by Westcott, or Hoover, I should say. And it is 4-0. And we have whistle, and the ball out of bounds. As we welcome Big Gear.
Hey, Chuck. Hello, everybody.
How's it going?
Good, good.
All right. For Saegertown out front, Carly Schlosser hands that ball off to Hess. Courtney, sideline right to Jones. Back out on the left wing, dribble down to the baseline. Schlosser puts it up and nails it. Baseline 10-foot jumper.
Beautiful. I tell you what, she had the time. She turned, aimed, shot, nothing but net.
Into the front court to Mallard. Mallard back out to the top of the key to Swanson. Bounces the ball over the left wing to Mallard. In underneath the Westcott. Turns around, lays it up. No good. Foul called. And we'll have our first foul of the afternoon. And this will go against Saegertown.
Two shots coming up, 6:28 on the clock, 4-2.
Hess with the foul. Courtney, her first, team's first. Charity tosses in the air, and it is perfect. Let's call it the line for one more. 5-2. Cambridge Springs. Abby to the line for one more. Sights it, puts it in the air, around the rim and off, but rebound put back up on the rim and off by Schmidt, out of bounds. Saegertown's ball. Stepping out of bounds to throw it in will be Mallard. Julia, baseline right. Kicks the ball way out to the top of the key. Back over to Mallard. Mallard down at the right baseline. Passes the ball off into the paint and then back out to the top of the key. Around the horn is Swanson. Swanson left wing off her foot and out of bounds.
Turn the ball over to the Lady Panthers. 6:12 on the clock here in the first. 5-2. Lady Blue Devils.
Grabowski gets that ball in, and they'll bring the ball up into the forecourt. Over to Hess. Hess out front. Right wing to Jones. Ava to the top of the key. Over to Hess again. He'll take a jumper from 14, no good. Rebounded by Cambridge Springs, and they'll move on the attack. Down into the corner to Myers, back out front. Going in, then dumping the ball off on the left wing, back out to the top of the key to Mallard. Mallard around the horn. She's going to dribble in, goes into the paint, dumps the ball off a little. Westcott lay it up for 2.
Boy, I tell you what, wide open underneath. Good pass. Just like that, it's 7-2, Lady Blue Devils.
3 in the early going for Westcott, and a blocking foul is called.
Each team with 1 foul. 5:28 on the clock. 7-2, Lady Blue Devils.
All right. And throwing the ball in will be Caitlin Young for the Lady Panthers under the coaching of veteran Steve Scott. Shot down at the baseline, won't fall by Kaylee Mulligan. And then we have an out of bounds. And the ball is going to belong to the Lady Panthers of Saegertown. Mulligan will inbound, sideline right. Dumps that ball into Jones, off her fingertips, right into the hands of Carly Schlosser. Man-to-man defense by Saegertown, or by Cambridge Springs, I should say. Now off to Jones. She'll shoot. She scores from the right wing.
Boy, that was a beautiful shot. 7-4, brings them within 3. 5:02 on the clock.
Swanson to Mallard, long cross-court pass to Brooke Myers, back to the top of the key, around the horn. Drive down to the left corner by Mallard. Now she's going to cut into the lane. Gets the ball off. Now Brooks got it. Back out to Mallard. Going to drive the lane. Try to put it up. Foul's going to be called. No, it just knocked it out of bounds. Knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, good defense by Saegertown, but Lady Blue Devils are going to get the ball. 4:43. They got a 3-point lead.
Rachel Swanson. The ball inbounds and a tie-up. And possession goes to Saegertown, who trails 7-4. 4:41 to go on this one in the first period. Coming up in the backcourt, Schlosser across the timeline. Over on the left wing to Mulligan. Down to the left baseline. Thought she was going to pass, and then as she did get that ball off to Jones, she gets the ball blocked and stolen away by Cambridge Springs. Threw the ball in the plate. She just turned it over. Schlosser's got it. Schlosser brings the ball free throw line. Dumps the ball down low. Back out to Hess. Over on the left wing to Young. Now in underneath for the driving layup up, and it is good. And the basket is good by Mulligan. And the score is now 7-6. In underneath the Westcott. She gets tied up. Ball goes to Cambridge Springs. And timeout, immediate timeout. We'll take a timeout on cool with a score. Cambridge Springs 7, Saegertown 6. Chuck Staub, Gary Patton, we welcome you right back here to Meadville Area Senior High School, where Saegertown, Cambridge Springs in battle. And right now Saegertown leads by 1, 7-6. Gary.
I tell you what, no strangers. These two teams know each other quite well.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
We're halfway through the first. 7-6. That's how close it is right now. Lady Blue Devils by 1. They've got the ball. Here we go.
Swanson inbounds way out front toward midcourt. Down to Brooke, and she went to pass it off down low, and the ball's picked off. Here comes Schlosser. Going to take the ball all the way down to the baseline, take a 12-foot jumper. It is good. Caitlin Young and Saegertown, just like that, takes the lead in the contest, 8-7.
Took advantage of that turnover.
2-3 zone now by Saegertown.
And another
turnover by Schlosser again. Reached in, stole that ball right away from Mallard. Long pass into the forecourt, intercepted by Saegertown. And then a foul is called as that ball is picked off by the Springs, rather. And then the foul called.
Hoover checks back in for Cambridge Springs. Ashton Hoover.
foul is on Mulligan. Cambridge brings his ball, shooting it to the left. Mellard out to the top of the key. Dish the ball baseline in underneath. Put it up, it's no good. Tipped around, gotten back, put up by Hoover, that's no good. Rebound, put it up again, that is no good. And rebounded by Saegertown. 3 minutes remain on the scoreboard clock in quarter number 1. And Saegertown takes their first lead of the day at 8-7. Over on the right wing, Mulligan out to the top of the key to Hess. Over to Slosher. Dump the ball to the free throw line. High post left, shots up, no good by Hessen. Rebounded, hauled down by Cambridge brings all the way to lay it up on the rim and off. No good by Mellor, but a foul called against the Panthers.
That'll be their third team foul.
Molly Probowski getting ready to come in for Saegertown at the next opportunity. Free throw is up, and it is no good by Mallard. She'll be at the line for one more.
Courtney Hess with the foul. That's her second already. 2:44 on the clock. Second shot coming up. 8-7, Lady
Line
Panther.
left. They average about 11.3 per contest. That's no good. Missed. Both of them taken down by Swanson in underneath. Lost the basketball. Cambridge is back on defense. Slosher. Carly. Then down underneath the driving layups on the rim, and it's good by Young. Caitlin Young.
Left hand of the boot. Tevin. What do we got? 10-7.
Into the front court. Millard bounces the ball off to Swanson. Swanson high post down to the baseline. In underneath to Hoover. Hoover is double teamed, and she travels.
Wow, another
good
turnover.
defense by Saegertown there. Double teaming her, and she traveled. The ball goes back to the Panthers, who lead by 3.
Cambridge Springs putting the press on. They broke the press.
Up into the forecourt. Top of the key, over to Slosher. Slosher on the right wing to Jones. Jones back out front. And backing off is Slosher. And the man by the Lady Blue Devils. Into the paint to Mulligan. Back out front, open three, got it! Beautiful shot out front that time.
Well, they only gave her 2 on that.
Rajkowski, and we're going to get a timeout on the court. The score, 12-7 Saegertown. Well, Cambridge Springs got off with the early lead in this one here, but Saegertown has come roaring back and leads this one by 5, 12-7. A buck 43 remains in the first period. Cambridge Springs will move back up on the attack. Left side, Mulligan back out to the top of the key. Right side, Hoover, back out. Mellard's going to drive all the way and lay in 2.
Just like that, 12-9. Lady Blue Devils working their way back.
1-2-2 press now by Cambridge Springs. See how Saegertown handles this. They do get the ball into the forecourt to Young. High post right, a shot by Jones. That's no good. Tipped high in the air. Will rebound. Cambridge Springs one-on-one break. Mellard's going to drive all the way, lay it up, blocked. Nice reaching in there and knocking the ball in. Away was Slosher. And they got the ball to the Lady Panthers.
And a 3-point lead.
Jones baseline right. Reaching in, slapping the ball away and out of bounds for the Blue Devils was Schmidt. Inbounding will be Mulligan. Baseline right. She looks, dishes the ball right in underneath the Slosher, lays it up a little short. Coming away with that missed shot is Westcott. Into the front court. Over the timeline. Out front. Swanson back off to Hoover, a long 3. That's no good off target. But rebound, a drive the lane, lay it up. That is no good. Foul is called as that ball was grabbed out by Mulligan, or rather by Mallard, and she went in. She got fouled. She was at line twice earlier and missed both attempts.
Saegertown with their 4th team foul. Shot is up.
Good.
That's a beauty right there. 12-10, brings it within 2. 38 seconds left here in the first.
Line left. It is in, it is out, and it is out of bounds. Saegertown's ball. And slowly up in the backcourt is their fine point guard, Carly Slosher. Man-to-man, Lady Blue Devils over to Bobrowski, back to Slosher. Right side, Bobrowski to Carly.
Winding the clock down, 10 seconds.
Going for that final shot. Mulligan hands that ball, gets it back.
5 seconds.
Out front, top of the key, take the long three, good! A beautiful three at the end of the first period by Bobrowski. With a score, Saegertown 15, Cambridge Springs 10. We'll be back on Cool and Armstrong after this timeout. Chuck Stop, Gary Patton. Welcome right back to Meadville High School, the first game of 2 here. Coming up next, the District 10 Championship 2A Girls, Maplewood and West Middlesex. Saegertown has the ball in underneath, short bank shots up. That is no good, a little bit short by Ava Jones, and rebound Cambridge Springs. Into the forecourt, Westcott to the top of the key to Swanson. Swanson go to the left wing. Now to the right side, back out to Swanson. They move that ball quickly around the horn. Mallard, left of the circle, back to Swanson, to Hoover. Cambridge Springs, as we've told you before, has defeated this team quite handily from Saegertown earlier in the campaign, and there are shots no good by Hoover, rebounded by Saegertown, and maybe you just take them a little bit lightly, Big Gare, when you come in here in this game. Of course, you have to win this one or you end up going out of the playoffs and done for the season. The winner will move on.
Well, I tell you what, you go back on the films and you look over and over what you did right and wrong. And I tell you right now, Lady Panthers up by 5.
After they've just
doing something right, yeah. Despite a couple of turnovers.
Swanson three, left wing, no good, off the iron, and goes out of bounds to Saegertown. Yeah, both teams in their last outing lost. Cambridge Springs, of course, losing to West Middlesex, and Saegertown to Maplewood. Ball's tipped away, and it's going to be stolen. Driving all the way up the court, lay it up and in by Mallard.
Well, that's just great hustle. Got the steal. 15-12. Saegertown by 3.
There's a baseline shot. That's off target. It is no good. Young, and on the other end of the court, trying to get the ball tipped out of bounds by Cambridge Springs. Saegertown will throw that ball in. Triggering the ball in will be Katie Mulligan. Baseline to the right. And then she gets the ball after the inbound.
Nice.
Good locked away by Westcott. Saegertown keeps the ball down at the left baseline. Bobrowski shot's no good. Ball's going to go out of bounds. Well, knocked out once again by Cambridge Springs.
Well, Hoover had her hand on it, couldn't quite bring it in, and it went out of bounds. So Saegertown gets the ball. Here we go, another substitution.
Mulligan will step out of bounds to throw it in. Brooke Myers is in. Westcott is out for Cambridge Springs. And out front, Carly Slosher dribbles toward midcourt. Guarded out there by Mallard. Goes down to the left wing. Reverse it back out front again. Now hand the ball off to the baseline. Put it up. That's no good. Slosher, and rebounded by Cambridge Springs. Here comes Swanson. Ball off to Hoover. Hoover versus it back to the top of the key. 5:48 to go, second quarter. In the paint, dump the ball down low. Brooke puts it up and in. Myers.
Lady Blue Devils working their way back, down by just 1 now. 15-14.
And we're going to have a timeout on the court. Time in for this message. The score, Saegertown 15, Cambridge Springs 14 on Cool and Armstrong. All right, welcome right back here to Meadville Area Senior High School on Cool and Armstrong. Kevin behind the camera here this afternoon. Meadville High for our first 2 games. Saegertown has the ball, 15-14 lead, and they just stepped out of it.
Turn that ball over for the 4th time. Chance for the Lady Blue Devils to take the lead here.
Yeah, a 4-0 run to start off the second quarter by Cambridge Springs. Over on the left wing, reversing, it was Millard, and then hands the shot off, and up, no good. And then we have a tie-up as the shot was taken on the left wing by Swanson. And it is out of bounds, and Swanson steps out of bounds to throw it in. Nope, now she goes back inbounds. Throwing it, it'll be Hoover. Baseline right into the top of the key. Back off, Hoover will take a deep three. That's well off. In underneath, taken away by Hess. Courtney, the 5'7" senior, up the court to Schlosser. Over to Young.
Terrible.
She just threw the ball into the paint and threw it away.
Bad pass right there. Cost him a turnover.
Out front it is Rachel. She's just dribbling around out there. This is the consolation of 2A girls. Hoover points Swanson. Swanson dribbled the ball off her foot, but right into the hands of Myers. Back out front. Down to the baseline. Underneath the driving layup is an easy one. Once again for Hoover.
Well, she was open wide underneath. Good pass to her. Up and in, just like that. Cambridge Springs takes the lead 16-15.
Well, they were down 12-7 at one time.
Yep.
Now throw the ball down to the low block to Young, and she gets fouled.
Swanson on the foul, her second. Team second. Meanwhile, Saegertown has 4 team fouls. 4:19 on the clock here in the second. 16-15 your score.
They'll inbound, baseline left. Dish that ball in there to Young. Young then back out to the top of the key to Schlosser. Schlosser, guarded by Millard, goes into the lane, throws it up. No good from 8. Tipped high in there. It is loose, but there comes Brooke Myers away with it again. Boy, really being harassed out there by Schlosser, was able to get that ball off, and then a foul is called. And Swanson has the ball. Foul is called on Schlosser, out of bounds to throw it in. It will be Myers. And we're going to get yet another timeout on the court.
Immediate timeout.
We'll take a timeout with a score of the Lady Blue Devils 16 and the Lady Panthers 15 on Cool and Armstrong from Meadville. Chuck Stomp, Gary Patton, welcome you right back to Meadville Area Senior High School. Don't forget, immediately following this one, we're going to have the 2A Championship, West Middlesex and Maplewood, right here on Cool. All right, Cambridge with the ball, out front, Millard, down into the left corner to Swanson. She reverses it out to the top of the key, all the way around. Now she's going to go to the right baseline, double team, tied up, travel. Throw for the Panthers, just reached in there and grabbed her, tied her up. Good defense there of the Lady Panthers.
Absolutely.
Cambridge Springs has scored the first 6 points of the second quarter. Saegertown yet to score with 3:40 to go. Double team trapped to midcourt and thrown away. Here comes Cambridge, 2-on-1 all the way. Drive up on the rim and no good by Swanson, out of bounds. Officials said, well, think about it and give the ball over to the Panthers.
That one went off of one of the Lady Blue Devils there. Now the Lady Panthers get the ball. 3:31 here in the second period from the House of Thrills. Girls playoff action.
Schlosser up in the backcourt against the press now by Saegertown. Almost stolen away. It's loose on the court, falling down.
Bodies flying.
And now what are they going to call?
Off.
Yep, that ball goes back over to Cambridge Springs. The press doing it again.
Looked like Jones had the ball, but she went out of bounds with it. Turns the ball right back over to Cambridge Springs.
Out front, top of the key, Rachel Swanson dumps the ball off. Out to the top of the key, around the horn. Swanson, left wing, inside of the arc, hands that ball off to Hoover. Hoover dishes the ball off, throwing the ball into the paint, stolen away by Hess. Long pass up the court, into the forecourt, down low. Jones got it. Put it up, foul called.
Hoover on the hack down there underneath. That'd be her first. Team's third, 2:55 remaining in the first half.
Jones to the stripe, puts it up, good. We are tied.
Beautiful shot right there, tied at 16. Second shot coming up. We are Cool 101.7 FM.
Line right. Charity toss into the air. Another one's in.
Just like that, they're back up 17-16.
Jones has 4 in the ball game. Fast breaking, lay it up. It is no good by Millard and out of bounds to Saegertown.
get the ball right back to 49. Got the 1-point lead. Another substitution for Saegertown. Courtney Hess goes out.
Probowski is back in. And once again, Cambridge brings 2-1 press. Saegertown still in the backcourt. Schlosser dumped the ball into the forecourt. Down low, tipped away, gotten there by Jones, and then out of bounds again. Cambridge brings his ball.
2:37 remaining here in the first half. Still a 1-point Saegertown lead.
And Coach Rod Dye saying, slow it down, slow it down. Swanson into the forecourt. The right hand dribble goes to the left, passes over to Hoover. Hoover directly below us. Between the circles to Swanson. Out there to Mallard. Now back over to Hoover again to the top of the key. 2-3 zone. Saegertown. Dipped the ball down there, tipped away by Schlosser, gotten back by the Panthers. In underneath. Westcott up for an easy two.
Well, they worked it around, got the opening, got the pass underneath, just like that. They're back up 18-17.
Right back into the press again.
Seesaw battle here from the House of Thrills.
Into the forecourt. Probowski, shot no. In underneath, they get it. Now Probowski straight out, 17-footer, nailed it.
Just like that, that puts Saegertown back up 19-18. Back and forth we go, less than 2 minutes left.
She has 7 points here in this first half. Does Molly. Dumped the ball down low to Westcott again. She turned around and got fouled. She's going to put the ball up. Well, I guess they're going to say it's on the floor. She wasn't in the act of shooting when she got fouled. The ball is out of bounds to Cambridge Springs. Swanson will throw the ball in at baseline right. Ball into Schmidt, back out to the top of the key. Hoover off to Mallard. Now down low, Westcott again up on the rim.
Wow.
Mr. Shot gets back, puts it, sticks it up and in off the glass.
Second time's a charm.
Good effort there by Westcott on the second attempt. Got it to fall, and all of a sudden it's 2019 Springs. Into the forecourt, breaking the press. Down low, in underneath it, then back out. Open, short jumper is right there again by Molly.
Back and forth we go. 1 minute left. 21-20 Saegertown.
Hoover to the top of the key.
There goes a long one.
She'll take it. It's off target. That's no good. Loose on the deck. Brought down by Hoover then. Back out to the top of the key. Around the horn to Swanson.
45 seconds.
Mallard down to the baseline to Swanson. Into the paint. Try to force it up. Knowles knocked away. Stolen away by Saegertown. They'll come into the forecourt. Out front it is Schlosser. Halfway.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Dump low.
Oh,
now
she was wide open.
Open. Short jumpers off the rim. That's no good by Eva Jones. Rebounded by Cambridge Springs. 20 seconds to go in the half. She just threw the ball away, but
good
over there
save by Hoover.
Hoover out at midcourt.
15 seconds.
Has the ball down the baseline. Cross court pass over to Mallard. Mallard down to the left baseline. Dish the ball down low. Bank shots up. No good. That was put up by Westcott. She gets fouled.
Number 7 for Saegertown.
9.6 seconds to go in the half. Seesaw battle here in this first half. Cambridge leading 20-21. Westcott in the ball game already with 7 points. Looks for 8. Line left and spins it in and out. Abby for one more. She averages 11.8 a ball game. Second leading scorer on this double club. Next charity toss is up to the rim and in.
We're tied at 21.
Schlosser to the forecourt. Top of the key. 5 seconds to go. Down to 4 seconds to go. Probowski lost the ball. She's going to put it up. Gets the ball off, but that shot's way too late. No good. That's the end of the first half. When the third quarter starts, we'll be back to even again. At the end of the first half on Cool 101.7 in Armstrong, it is Saegertown 21, Cambridge Springs 21.
Both teams making their way back out here to midcourt. We get ready to start the second half of action here on Cool 101.7 FM. We welcome everybody aboard this afternoon. Here it is, March 2nd already. Of course, Armstrong Cable in the house too. Lady Panthers get the ball. Here we go.
Harley Schlosser has the ball out front. Feeds the ball to Hess. Ball high over her head. Down the right wing once again to Schlosser. He'll step out to the top of the key. Now down to the right corner, back out to Slosher. Lobbed the ball into the paint, knocked away. Picked back up, driving layups on the rim, and it is good as it's laid up and in by Young.
Yeah, left-handed to boot on top of that. Saegertown up 23-21.
Round the horn it goes. Westcott down low.
Almost a turnover there.
Boy, she got out of that traffic in a hurry. Brings the ball out to Swanson. Swanson goes in, lobbed the ball down low, but over the head of Hoover and out of bounds.
First turnover here in the second half. Hoover yet to get a three. Once she gets warmed up, look out. Here come the Lady Panthers, bring it down. Pass
that is all the way.
Oh.
Lay it up, no good by Slosher, and a foul called on the drive.
Yeah, that or a tie-up.
Well, Gary, as I look at these different brackets, sometimes I see that they're taking three teams now on this particular bracket I'm watching now, and 2A girls are taking all four.
Okay.
Yeah, they got
subject to change.
10-4 takes on 9-1. So, I don't know, the other night we had that schedule, it only showed three.
Yes, it did.
So I have no idea. Westcott from 17, good on the right wing.
Now we're tied at 23.
I think I said Westcott, that was Hoover.
Yeah, when we looked at the bracket down when we were at Sharon.
Right here today, so I have no idea what's going on.
Subject to change.
I guess so. And we get that clarified between games, because I thought this was the consolation for the winner to go on and the loser to be done, but
maybe not.
Have to find out.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
That's right, all the way. Jones had it in the paint, knocked away. Mulligan had it. Now at the top of the key is Slosher. Back over to Young. Shots no good. Run down by the Blue Devils. That was Westcott. Back out front. Set it up once again. Over to Mallard. Way on the left wing. Back out to the top of the key. Back to Mallard again. Over to Swanson. Swanson's going to drive the lane. Then dish the ball down. Westcott's good.
Oh, what a great pass. She was wide open underneath. She fed it to her. An easy two. That puts Cambridge Springs back up to 25.
Seesaw back and forth.
Good game going on here this afternoon. Game one, of course.
The Hess. That's the ball out to the high post. Drive in and lay it up on the rim. And that is no good by Mulligan. Rebound Cambridge Springs. Into the forecourt. And Mallard back out to the top of the key. Mallard into Swanson. Mallard top of the key. Over on the left baseline to Hoover. Back out front, and they'll reset it again. Now tried to force the ball down low to Westcott, and stolen away. Stolen away by Mulligan. Into the forecourt. Slosher back off onto the right wing. Open. Jones shots no good on the right wing. Safe from going out of bounds by Hess. Throw the ball out front, but it's picked off. And here comes Mallard all the way to drive. Score.
Well, Hess come down with the ball, and then it lost the ball, had the turnover. Look at that. Cost them two. 27-23. Saegertown trying to get a little bit of breathing room.
And 6 points.
Yeah.
The two,
like
the run here by Cambridge Springs to start out the third quarter.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Jones. Slosher. Back to Jones again. Out to the free throw line. Hess. Baseline. Open. Shooting. That's a near ball by Jones right down in the hands of Cambridge Springs, and they're quickly on to the attack. Across the timeline to the top of the key goes Swanson. Backs off a little bit against that 2-3 zone. Cross-court pass Hoover. Back out to the point.
I thought she'd take that one.
From the free throw line, open. Schmidt shoots off of the rim. Rebound hauled down by Westcott, and she gets fouled.
Couple substitutions coming in for Saegertown.
No, she turned it over. I heard a whistle, thought that there was a foul called, but no, she turned it over in the paint.
That's her third turnover.
27-23 Devils.
Got the press on.
Inbound pass comes into Slosher. Cross court to Jones.
So far,
back
so
to
good.
Slosher. Dump the ball ahead. Here was a 2-on-1. They threw the ball away. Hoover grabs it. Up to Swanson as they move left to right. Westcott down low. Westcott out of bounds. Last touch by Mulligan.
Good hustle underneath, though, by Mulligan.
Now a timeout on the court, immediate timeout. 60-second timeout on Cool and Armstrong. The score from the House of Thrills. Cambridge Springs 27, Saegertown 23. More in a moment. All right, Cambridge Springs has the ball. 27-23 lead. It's been that way for a while. Rachel inbounds. Up the ball off to Mellard. Back out to the point. Swanson over to Hoover. Cross-court pass. Mellard again double teamed and tipped and stolen away, but she was out of bounds. Yes.
Well, good
Step
defense,
on
though.
the line. And out of bounds to throw it in will be Mellard for the Lady Devils. Push the ball right out to Westcott. To Schmidt. To Mellard. In the paint, pass the ball off, tipped in there, almost stolen. Oh, nice save there.
Good defense, though, by the
Yep, but stealing
Lady
away is
Panthers.
Mellard. Back to the top of the key. Mellard cross-court pass to Hoover. Hoover down to the left baseline, gets
Tie
tied
up.
up. Ball belongs to Cambridge Springs.
once again a good defense there by the Saegertown Lady Panthers.
Out of bounds
3:19
to
on the
throw it
clock.
in.
Still a 4-point lead though for Cambridge Springs.
Milligan stepped out of bounds. Thought maybe she had fooled officials that it was their ball, but it wasn't. Now a short jumper baseline 10-footer is not close out there by Schmidt. Panthers got the ball. Mulligan passing the ball off. Oh, a nice snag
Almost
over
lost
there.
the
That'd have
ball.
been a turnover, but Jones snags it out of the air. Then
There
a
it
drive
is.
and right-handed scoop shot is good by Probowski.
Right off glass. 27-25. Cambridge Springs by 2.
Rachel, top of the key. Hoover back around the horn it goes. Hoover's got it again on the left wing against that 2-3 zone by Saegertown. Pass the ball into the middle. It's tapped away, loose, and then the ball has gotten in a foul call. And that foul is going to be going against Probowski of Saegertown.
Boy, great hustle though. Her second, team's first.
And out of bounds to throw it in was Rachel, gets it back, shoots Swish the three on the left wing by Swanson.
First three tonight.
And her first points of the game. And it's all of a sudden a 5-point Cambridge Springs lead. And then a jump ball. This time the possession is the Panthers.
Mulligan to throw it in.
In comes Caitlin Young.
Lady Panthers down by 5.
Inbound pins is snapped out of bounds.
Hoover there knocks it out. Good defense.
Mulligan to throw it in. Right corner. It's the ball in there to Slosher. The ball handler for this ball club, point guard, being harassed out there by Mellard, and another timeout. No.
That was a turnover.
Turnover. Here come the Blue Devils, lost away, picked up out there by Mellard. Over at the left side, round the horn. Hook pass down low, in underneath. Hoover turned around, had the ball knocked away. It's still loose on the court, picked up out front. And now we're going to get the timeout called by Cambridge Springs. Timeout on the court on Cool and Armstrong. $1:56 to go, third quarter. Cambridge Springs up 30-25. We'll be right back. 30-25, that's our score on Cool 101.7 later on this afternoon after our two games. At 4 o'clock, Hickory and General McLean. Then at 5:30, Slippery Rock and Warren.
Lots of action here at the House of Thrills.
We have a House of Thrills thriller right now going on, and almost a turnover, but comes right down into the hands, in underneath, and laid up and in. And the basket is by Westcott. Westcott with 12 in the game.
It's the biggest lead right now for Cambridge Springs.
And open shooting on the rim and off. No good. Young trying to get the errant shot, and then fouled on the play was Hess. That'll send Courtney Hess to the free throw line, the 5'7" senior. She looks for her first point today. Good opportunity to get in the scorebook right now. As the Lady Panthers are down by 7. Their biggest deficit of the day. Free throw is up and in and out.
Look good, wouldn't go. Minute 35 when we get back to regulation time here in the third.
And we'll see if she can get her name in the scorebook today. Sights it, puts it up on the rim. Oh, and she missed it again. Rebound, Cambridge Springs. Up the court they move in a hurry. Out to the top of the key. Now driving is Mellor to the glass and scores.
Just like that, it's 34-25.
She has
Cambridge
9.
Springs pouring it on.
Out to the top of the key, down to the left corner, back out to Slosher. Slosher out there. Over to Mulligan. Mulligan in the paint. Passed the ball over the head and out of bounds, trying to get Parbrowski. So Cambridge Springs in control here in the third quarter, now leads by 9, and will try to add to that one. We had a halftime score of 21 each, so only 4 points by Saegertown, 13 by the Lady Blue Devils in quarter 3. Saegertown stays in the 2-3 and a traveling violation.
Just got called for traveling right there. Less than a minute left here in the third. Saegertown with the ball.
Caitlin Young to inbound to Slosher. Slosher, the 5'5 senior, dumps the ball extended free throw line to the right to Hess. Back off to Mulligan. Back out to the top of the key to Slosher. Slosher around the screen. Feeds it off. Now down to the baseline to Hess. Puts it up over the rim. That's no good. Weak side is loose on the court. Scramble is on the ball. Oh, picked up by Swanson. But she's out of bounds, according to the officials. Mulligan will inbound. Mulligan gets that ball right in there to Young. Back to Hess. High post right. Now to Slosher. Slosher passes sideline right. Back out front. Hess over. Backing off onto the dribble is Parbrowski.
Trying to get it underneath. 15 seconds.
Breaching and slapping that ball away. Onto the steal to drive all the way. Mallard. She scores to put the Blue Devils up by 11.
36-25. Cambridge Springs pouring it on.
Yes.
It's their best period.
Out for 16-footer beauty at the buzzer by Parbrowski. She has 11, and that's going to end the third quarter. On Coolin Armstrong, the score, Cambridge Springs 36, Saegertown 27. Back to the House of Thrills on Coolin Armstrong right after this.
Welcome back to the House of Thrills. Girls playoff action here on Cool 101.7 FM along with Armstrong Cable. Playback once again Wednesday, 7:30, and again Thursday at 3 o'clock. Armstrong Cable. Lady Blue Devils with the ball, and they're up right now 36-27.
Swanson, sideline right to Myers. Now back to Swanson. Just threw it up. It's no good. Foul though. Hacking foul will be called. Swanson to the free throw line. She is a 67% foul shooter. The 5'5 junior averages just 6 points per contest. Line right. First trip to the line this afternoon. Hits it. Coming up next on Cool, the 2A championship, Maplewood and West Middlesex. Second one is up, hits them both, and Cambridge Springs goes out to an 11-point lead at 38-27. Pressing, once again, Cambridge Springs, but they get the ball into the front court. Grabowski, looking, turns around. Gets the ball to the free throw line to Mulligan, down into the left corner. Open, but not taking the shot was Jones. Now they'll try to get the ball on the give and go to Slosher, but then ball ends up into the hands of Jones. Now back out front, top of the key. Parbrowski. Having trouble getting inside are the Lady Panthers. Carly's got it, backs off. Feeds the ball over there to Jones. Jones on the right wing, gonna penetrate. Now down to the baseline. Now take a 10-foot jumper, partially blocked Jones. That's no good, but tipped right out into the hands of Young. She shoots. That's no good on the left baseline. Rebounded by Westcott. Push the ball up the court. In a hurry to drive the baseline, lay it up, no good. But a foul is called as Swanson was driving. She's going to be at the free throw line for 2. She was just there and nailed both of them. Mulligan on the foul. 6:54 to go on this one here. And Cambridge Springs put a little distance between them and the Lady Panthers.
Yeah, Mulligan with her 4th foul.
Free throw no good.
Saegertown has 3.
One more coming up for
Mulligan,
Rachel.
Mulligan, yeah, she's going out.
Yes, in.
Yep. $6:54 when we get back to regulation time.
Free throw is up and good. So it is a 39-27 lead. Panthers got some work to do. Grabowski over to Hess, directly below us on the left wing. Guarded out there by Schmidt. Pass the ball down to the baseline. His Young spins it in and out from 12, but a hacking foul call.
She was wide open, took the shot, drew the foul. 6:40 on the clock here in the fourth.
Foul is called on Brooke Myers. Free throw line goes Caitlin Young. First trip to the line today and sinks the first one.
Nice shot, nothing but net on that one. Brings it within 11, 39-28.
One more coming up. Line left, this one's in the air and spins in and out, and a rebound hauled away by Schmidt. Swanson between the circles. He's over to Myers, back to long pass, back over, across that zone, shoots, no good that time by Myers. Rebound, put it up to the rim and good by Corey Schmidt.
Great second effort, up and in, 41-28.
That's her first 2 points over the ball game. Gets her name into the scorebook.
The biggest lead right now for Cambridge Springs.
That is Young from the corner. Batted around, no good, down into the hands of Schmidt. Up the court on the fast break. Westcott fakes it now, lays in two more.
Now they're pouring it on, 43-28.
14 points now in the ball game for Westcott. Out front is Hess. Hess over there to Young. Young gets the ball down low to Hess. Turnaround jumper is on the rim and out. Rebounded by Myers, and she gets fouled. Then starting to fall in for the next game, the 2A championship.
Saegertown with their fourth foul. 5:40 on the clock.
And Myers will inbound for the Blue Devils, and Saegertown just drops back into the 2-3 zone. Rachel bounces that ball over, gets it back, goes to Brooke out the top of the key, over to Mallard. Mallard, long cross-court pass back to Myers on the left wing. Bounce the ball out front. Cambridge could run a little clock here. Be content to go for the real good shot. Drive down to the baseline, in underneath, lay it up to the rim and in. Nice shot in underneath by the Blue Devils, and that was once again Westcott, who's having a great day. Out front, Slosher to Hess, threw the ball and almost right through the hands of Westcott. Cambridge Springs would have had another pick. They're up now 45-28 and pretty well putting this ball game away. 17-point lead. Last two periods have been all Cambridge Springs. Saegertown in second and third quarter had a total of 12 points. Drive in another, lay it up on the rim, good, and fouled is Parbrowski.
That made the basket, that counts.
Molly having a good game. Now she has a total of 15. And the foul is called on Hoover.
Yeah, her second, team's third. But right now, Cambridge Springs with a good lead. Shot is up.
And off the rim. That is no good. And it is rebounded by Cambridge Springs.
45-30, Cambridge Springs.
Mallard dumps the ball off. Coming in the left baseline, laid up and in. Once again for Cambridge Springs, and that is Westcott.
Make it 47-30, Lady Blue Devils.
Out front at the top of the key. Here comes Slosher. The screen goes to the left wing. Back to Mulligan. Mulligan in the paint. Back off. Open shot blocked away by Hoover as the shot was going up by Parbrowski.
What great defense by Hoover.
Mulligan will inbound. Gets the ball into Slosher. Down to the baseline. Late put up. There's another block as Mulligan went up. She had the ball blocked again. I think that was Westcott maybe that time. Inbounding, look. Gets the ball into Slosher. She's out of, they called her for being out. I don't, she wasn't out of bounds. That's the official's fault.
He looked at the wrong line.
Yes, he did. He looked, I think, at the volleyball line. Anyway, it's going to be Saegertown's ball. I looked over there, and she was a foot inside the out-of-bounds line. And nice correction by the official. All right, 60-second timeout. The score, Cambridge brings in control 47-30. We'll have more on Cool and Armstrong right after this. Chuck Staub, Gary Patton, and Kevin on the camera here at Meadville High. First game of 4. Cambridge is well in control heading into the inter-district competition next Friday. High post, straight out Hess from the 15-foot stripe. That's no good, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Panthers ball.
4:07 on the clock. They're down by 17. 47-30 your score.
Inbounding is Mulligan. Top of the key, Slosher. Slosher around to the screen, all the way to the right baseline. Kicks the ball off. Back out front. Bobrowski. The baseline almost thrown away that time by Young, but they get the ball back in control at the top of the key. Slosher. Slosher's going to go in around the screen. Pass the ball off, tipped away and stolen away. Up the court, Mallard feeds the ball off to Hoover. Back to Mulligan, but knocked out of bounds by Mulligan.
Got her hand on that. Now we're going to take media timeout here on Cool.
All right, still 47-30. Back to Mashite after this timeout on Cool and Armstrong.
Lady Blue Devils with the ball. Up right now, 47-30. We got 3:38 remaining in this game. Game 1 of 3 this afternoon.
Okay, the Devils just have the ball stolen away all the way. Slosher will fake it. Now she'll lay it up and good.
Took advantage of that turnover.
She has 4 points in the ball game, a couple of field goals. Quickly into the front court come the Blue Devils, up by 15. In the paint,
She lost the
stolen
ball.
away. It's picked up by Mulligan. Down the court to Slosher again. Now down low on the ball, deflected and stolen away by Mallard. Mallard takes the ball all the way. She'll score on the other end of the court. Julia.
49-32, Cambridge Springs.
13 points for Julia. Here, a shot in the paint won't go down. Hess saves it,
Nice
but right
save.
into the Blue Devils. Hoover's hand. Now back off to Mallard. Mallard, free throw line. Over on the left wing, back out to the top of the key. Free throw line. Schmidt, yep, they're going to
clock,
absolutely here with 2:30 to go and up by 17. Now wide open for a three. Beauty on the left wing by Hoover.
Boy, she had about, what, 3 or 4 down there at Sharon.
She had 4 of them.
Wow.
That's just the second here this afternoon.
Yeah, her first.
Down low and tipped away. Good defense, but it comes right down in land. Laid up over the rim, no good. Young. And then they pull the ball back out front as they get the rebound. They got to start putting it up, baby.
You think they'd just start throwing some threes, try to get back. They're down by 20.
Mulligan to Hess.
You only got 2 minutes left.
Hess to Young. Into the paint. And finally getting it ball down low and laying it up and in is Bobrowski.
52-34. Cambridge Springs well in control.
17 for her today. She's having a great game. Bobrowski. Down to the baseline. In our knee. Oh, dish the ball to Westcott. She's got it, and she will score. Hung on that rim, I thought, forever.
Back to a 20-point lead for the Lady Blue Devils. 90 seconds left in this game.
20 points today for Westcott. Left wing, Mallard dumped the ball down low, put it up, no good on the block though. Foul we called is Young. Tried to get the ball to drop, couldn't get it to do.
Not a lot of fouls called here in this game. I believe there was about 8 or 9 in the first half. Only 8 right now.
Caitlin will go to the free throw line.
Both team with 4. First shot is up.
Got it.
Minute 21 remaining. Here comes a bunch of substitution for Cambridge Springs. Westcott goes out.
Yep, go to the roster now, and we're going to get a timeout on.
Brooke Myers goes out. All right.
1:21 to go in this here, the first game of our doubleheader. Cambridge Springs 54, Saegertown 35. Back and wrap it up after this timeout. Saegertown is the free throw line. Shot is up, and that is no good by Young. And here comes Cambridge Springs. This game is going to be the Blue Devils. They're going to get the consolation game here this afternoon. Out front is Kylie Dyes, forward 5'8". She's just a sophomore. Out the baseline, it's lost by Hoover, but getting it back out. Throw it out front. That's no good. Well shot by Kaylee. Rebound is Saegertown. And up the court comes Mulligan all the way to score.
54-37. We got 50 seconds left.
That was her 4th point of the afternoon.
All right.
Slowly up in the backcourt.
As we wind down game
What's
1
that
of 3.
timeline? It is Swanson out there. Swanson to Hoover. Back to Swanson again.
30 seconds.
Round of the horn. The top of the key. Hoover's got it. Hoover out front. Hands the ball off as we move to the 22nd mark of this ball game. And Cambridge Springs, number 3 team from District 10. Head to the playoffs. It's around the horn. Double teamed out there now. She just dribbling the clock out.
Yeah,
They're not even going to foul.
Wind it down here.
No
not even
reason
taking
to.
a shot.
And now, pass the ball off out front. This ball game is all over.
There it is.
The final score, Cambridge Springs wins this one here, 54-37. And Cambridge Springs girls become 10-3 as they win this one here, 54-37. It started out, looked like they might be going to take it to the Panthers. That was not to be. After a 7-2 run to start it off, then all of a sudden the Panthers got things rolling. First thing you know, they were up 12-7. At the end of the first period, it was a 15-10 Saegertown lead. Then Saegertown would only score a total of 12 points the next 2 periods. At the half, it was Cambridge Springs leading this one. Well, actually, we were tied at 21. But in the third quarter, Cambridge Springs scored 15 to only 6 for Saegertown. Going to the final period, that built that up to a 9-point advantage. And in the final period, Saegertown could score just 10. Meanwhile, 18 for Cambridge Springs, and they win this one 37 for Saegertown, 54 for the Blue Devils. So they take all 3 games they played against Saegertown this campaign.